In this video, I will explain how to access and navigate the sources that the requirements list entries are based on. So let's use the batteries regulation as a starting point. And this is for the EU, by the way. Let's say that you're working on documentation requirements and you encounter something like this. Point 2, technical documentation as per the requirements contained in source 1, Annex 8, meaning that you need to create technical documentation as per the requirements contained in Annex 8. What do I do then? Well, I have to go to source 1, scroll down to sources, and I click on the link. As this is for the EU, it takes me to EUR-Lex. Before I go to Annex 8, I need to make sure I have selected the latest version, which you do on the left. And the reason is that the summary may have been written based on a previous version of this directive or regulation. So now I've selected the latest version. That's the first thing you have to do. Now, we need to find Annex 8. We can use the table of contents. Scroll down. Eventually we'll find it. And this concerns technical documentation. Okay, here we go. Annex 8. Right, here we are. Technical documentation. So, what this means is that the compliance requirements list entry pointed me to Annex 8, because this is where you can find a definitive list of the documents that have to go into your technical documentation file. Why is this not included in the requirements list? Well, because it's better to go straight to the source in this case, or the summary would be too long. Keep in mind that a summary is just a summary. It's a highly condensed version that simply does not have all the context of the actual source text, in this case the batteries regulation in the EU. Let's look at the United States. I'll select the plush toy. And I've already created a requirements list. Let's say that I want to understand requirements under part 1501, which concerns small parts and choking hazard labeling. So these two parts contain certain pictograms or warning texts. We haven't included these in the actual summary. Instead, we reference them. As you can see here, a cautionary statement for any toy or game containing small parts intended for use by children who are between 3 to 6 years of age is contained in source 1, 16 CFR part 1500.19b1. Might sound complex, but it's quite straightforward. So let's go and select source 1. That's a starting point. Where do we have to go from source 1? Well, we have to go to 1500.19. You can either scroll down or we do a Control F. Okay. And then it mentioned what? B1. Scroll down to B and 1. And here we find the choking hazard pictograms, or the markings that apply to certain products. And once again, the source is the ultimate authority, and we therefore reference requirements that are perhaps conditional or would make the summary very long and overly complex. The role of the summary is to help you navigate the sources, but as I said, the sources are the ultimate authority. Okay, I think I've demonstrated the principle. There's one thing I want to mention, that unlike EUR-Lex and the eCFR, the Electronic Code of Federal Regulations database in the United States, the version is stated up here. You can see that it's displaying Title 16 up to date as of the 29th of August 2024. It was last amended on this day. Not necessarily part 1500, but Title 16.